So Sweet Blue Flowers is about two high school girls named Fumi and Akira, once childhood friends reunited after 10 long years, who rekindle their friendship as well as deal with their complex emotions and relationships with other characters. Now this anime was sent to me by one of my most loyal and supportive subscribers, Weston Bab, who also sent me the Yakumo figurine you guys see in the background. And after reading the back of the DVD, I discovered that this anime is actually based off of a manga made by the same person who created the excellent and beautiful Horo Masuko, Wandering Sun. And when I learned that, I got super excited. I could not wait to watch Sweet Blue Flowers. I absolutely adored Horo Masuko, and if it was going to be anything like that, I couldn't wait to see it. I mean, they did such a beautiful job at telling a transgender story. What more with a lesbian love story? The animation by JC Staff was simplistic yet wonderful, perfectly capturing an inviting, pleasant, sweet, and romantic atmosphere with its soft, colorful backgrounds and cute character designs. And it shares a lot of things in common with the animation done for Horo Masuko, although that animation will be done 2 years later and by a totally different animation studio, AIC Classics. But they do share a lot of similar traits, like the warm, soft backgrounds that are so inviting and the cute, wonderful character designs. But that should come as no surprise, as they both hail from the same creator, so of course they're gonna have a lot of things in common. I will say that Horo Masuko stands out more in the animation for its unique and distinct look and art style, whereas Sweet Blue Flowers has a more conventional look to it. It feels like a much more conventional anime. But that doesn't mean that it's bad. It doesn't mean the animation is terrible. It's still really good. It gets the job done. The entire Japanese voice cast did stellarly with their performances, each conveying the tenderness and depth of their characters, as well as pulling off the emotional scenes in flying colors. And they never came off as overbearing or over the top. It was actually quite subdued, which made their performances feel more real, more natural. And guess who's back again, ladies and gentlemen? That's right, Kana Hanazawa once again is part of the voice cast. This time she's voicing a character who showed up in 2 episodes known simply as The Prince. Sadly, I still have no alcohol present with me, but the next time that I see her as part of the voice cast, I'll take 3 shots. And a little interesting yet tragic fact that I discovered while researching this anime is that one of the voice actresses, the one who voiced Fumi in the anime, was actually caught with cocaine, and after being caught with cocaine, her entire career was ruined. She was completely shunned by the industry, and she never worked in the industry again. Damn, that's kind of depressing. I mean, she had such great potential, and then she threw it all away by snorting cocaine. That just sucks. The music truly complements this anime, as it comes off as soft, warm, gentle, soothing, and quite intimate, especially with the opening theme, which was my favorite piece of music in the entire anime. I loved hearing it. I loved its melody. I loved the lyrics. The music here is fantastic. Now let's touch upon the story, which I must admit was quite unique and refreshing to see in a Yuri anime. I can honestly say, guys, that I have never seen a Yuri anime quite like Sweet Blue Flowers, as the storytelling is so balanced. Not only do they delve into the lesbian relationships among some of the characters, but they also delve into some of the inner turmoil of the characters, as well as exploring heterosexual relationships. I have never seen a Yuri or a Yaoi anime that actually shows a character dating the opposite sex or being attracted to the opposite sex. Usually it's just focused on like same-sex relationships. You know, everybody just has to be gay, everybody just has to be lesbians, and nobody likes men or nobody likes girls. They all have to like the same sex. This is the first Yuri Yaoi anime I've ever seen where characters actually like the opposite sex. And I was so surprised by this. And when doing some research, I learned that the creator of the manga wanted to have heterosexual relationships to help the series stand out, and she pulled it off. And the heterosexual romance aspects do not come off as forced or out of place, nor do they take attention away from the lesbian relationships. The story is actually fair and balanced to both of them, and it actually makes the story come off as more believable, more realistic. I can actually relate to these situations more than in any other Yuri anime story. And I absolutely adored how the story would delve into some of the characters' complex emotional struggles. You get a good understanding as to what they're going through, what they're like, what they're thinking, what's their troubles. Simply put, this is the most original Yuri anime story I have ever seen that kept my attention from beginning to end. And finally, the characters. Each, and I mean every single one of them, were likable and charming, from the main characters to the supporting characters. I enjoyed them all. And tying into the story, I loved the depth and complexity of some of these characters. Most specifically, the lesbian characters, Fumi, Kyoko, and Yasuko. These three girls are at the center of every drama that happens in Sweet Blue Flowers. And you get a full understanding of each of them, because they delve into their psyche, they delve into their personality, what drives them, what ails them, what troubles them, and you really empathize with these characters by the end of the anime. I know that I did, especially given the fact that each of them deal with unrequited love. But to be honest, my personal favorite character in the entire anime is without question Akira, or as they call her, A-chan. I just love her exuberant personality, and I love how good of a friend she is to Fumi. Their little friendship slash relationship is the heart of the anime, and I always enjoyed seeing the moments between the two. And I really was rooting for them to get together by the anime's end. This is the first time this year that I've seen a romance anime where I was just rooting for the two leads to end up together. I just wanted them to be a couple finally because they had such dynamic chemistry and they were just so cute together. All the small, tender moments they shared, I couldn't get enough of it. I loved every single scene that they were in. But, and this truly pains me to say this, guys, because I really got into this anime, but I did notice a couple issues with it. One of the biggest faults I found in Sweet Blue Flowers actually deals with my personal favorite character, A-chan, as she wasn't given a lot of focus, attention, or development as some of the other characters like Fumi and the other two lesbian girls. Now, she is given some focus, and we do get a good understanding of the character, but they don't dive deeper into this character. What really drives her? What's her motivation? What's her backstory? We don't really get a full understanding of the character. We get a solid understanding. We have a foundation as to what the character is, but we don't really get to delve into her psyche, what she actually feels like throughout the entire anime. We know that she deeply cares for Fumi. That's her best friend. She's always gonna have her back no matter what. But I would have loved to learn more about how she personally felt about Fumi. Did she ever feel any romantic feelings towards Fumi? It's kind of hinted that she does, but it's never outright said. It's not explicitly shown. So it would have been nice to learn more about A-chan, especially since she was such a fun character, and I think that she could have been a really enthralling and deep character had they developed her a little bit more, give her more focus. Now, this next issue should not come as a surprise to anyone, but I was not a particular fan of A-chan's older brother, Shinobu, as his older brother tendencies and overprotectiveness just had a very incestuous vibe to it that I just wasn't on board with. I don't understand why they had to put this character in, as he doesn't really add much to the story or to other characters. He just came off as a nuisance to me, and I know that later on in the manga, he does play a crucial part, but this is the anime review, and in the anime, he's completely superfluous, and he just didn't need to be there. And the last issue I found with Sweet Blue Flowers was its ending. That ending was terribly underwhelming. It left me so unsatisfied, angry, upset, disappointed, and sad. And after sitting through 11 episodes, the anime couldn't even give me the one thing that I wanted to see. And that was Fumi and Akira hooking up, becoming a couple. That is the one thing that you had to pull off by the anime's end, and you didn't. Now you could say that's daring and original for them to do, but for someone who was sitting through the entire anime waiting for it to happen because you know it's gonna come, the fact that we weren't able to get that full resolution and have them end up as a couple, you can't help but be a little aggravated and disappointed by that fact. I mean, that's what you came to see. You wanted to see them blossom into a romance. You don't get that. It's basically, hey, you want to see this romance? You want to see them end up to be a couple? Go read the manga. And I think we all know how I feel about endings like that. But overall, guys, despite its handful of problems, I thoroughly enjoyed watching Sweet Blue Flowers. It's such a sweet, charming, innocent, lovely, emotional, and romantic Yuri anime that I was fully invested in from beginning to end. It's without question the best Yuri anime I've ever seen, and it is definitely a Yuri anime that is worth watching. Please go check it out. But as always, guys, I'm not the end-all be-all opinion when it comes to Sweet Blue Flowers. I would love to know what you guys thought about this anime as well. Did you absolutely adore it? Is it your favorite Yuri anime of all time? Or is it really boring, dull, the pacing was so slow and you just couldn't get into it? And let me know, what is the most unique Yuri anime you have ever seen?